All right, we have the so-called news story here from KGW about the rogue driver in Estacada that allegedly stole the guy's phone and smashed it and said he was going to beat him up and all kinds of great stuff. And we're going to watch it in a minute. But I've been thinking about the situation a little bit more, and I realized that there's been several things that the union has done to Trimet. First of all, the union said Trimet doesn't maintain the MAX system, and then the Northwest Labor Press did a more in-depth article about Trimet's policies, firing drivers that don't have bathroom facilities. And then immediately after that, we see this. And of course, you know, I'm known as a conspiracy theorist because I do believe in conspiracies. I do believe government and corporate America and everybody else that's running our lives does conspire 24 hours a day to influence our minds. And anybody that's awake at all realizes we live in a nation that's 24 hours of advertising and propaganda. 24 hours a day, that's all we hear. Advertising and propaganda, advertising and propaganda. So, with the people talking about the incompetence of the union, of the company, this is a way that Trimet can take the public's mind off of their incompetence and put it back on the employees and the union. You see, it makes perfect sense to me that this is how they would handle this. You see, they have the union attacked Trimet for not doing the maintenance, which they don't do. And then the story came out about the lack of facilities for drivers and Trimet's complete unethical behavior around that. And then all of a sudden Trimet allows this story to come out. And it's not news. So he had an incident with a bus driver. So what? The only thing that happened here, if it happened, is that the phone got broken. But let's watch the story, and I'll break in.
Drivers tonight. An Estacada man took this picture of what appears to be a driver giving him the finger yesterday. Before that, he's...
Oh my God, he gave you the finger. Will you survive the finger? Is it going to kill you? It's just unbelievable that somebody would give you the finger.
Says the driver swore at him and threatened him. Man says he didn't do anything wrong. Taylor Vito spoke with that man and reached out to Trimet about this. And Taylor, that man says his son saw all of this too.
Yeah, Tracy, it all took place at this bus stop right behind me. The man arrived here after getting off of work. His wife and son were here to pick him up. What they saw, though, was the driver allegedly grab this guy's phone and chuck it right into the street.
And I say, sir, may I have your ID number and your name? And he's like, no, F you, get off the bus.
You could call it the...
You know, I don't know that guy. I guess his name is Jeff Roberts. I think I've heard his name before, but I don't know him. But I love that picture of him. He kind of, this is just a great picture of a comical character, more or less.
The worst bus ride Josh Powell's ever had. When getting off in Estacada yesterday, Powell says he and another rider tried to exit the bus using the rear door when the driver freaked out.
And I look at him and I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, can you pop the door? He's like, I already told you, you effing idiots, you need to wait.
Now, Powell says he didn't do anything to provoke the guy. As the driver cussed out the other rider, Powell asked the driver for his info so he could file a complaint.
He was like, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to punch you in your face, and actually like went up like this to me and like.
All right, well, if he actually did that, we need confirmation. Now, Trimet has the onboard video of this incident, but the policy has always been there. Nobody gets to see anything that actually happens. All we got is this guy's side of the story. And, you know, there's two sides to every story always. All right, so I want to see the driver threatening him on camera before I believe that one.
Threatened to hit me.
Powell then snapped this picture of the bus number. He says the driver used his middle fingers to express his thoughts on that. As Powell went to the window to take another picture of the driver,
grabs my hands and my phone and grabs my phone and throws it across the street and shatters it and breaks the phone.
That's kind of cool that he did that. I guess the guy had the phone right in his face in order. I mean, he must have had it right in his face for him to be able to grab it like that. That's kind of that's kind of, I gotta hand it to you, whoever you are. That's that's pretty outrageous. But I mean, so the phone is broken. So Trimet owes you a phone. Woohoo!
which was like brand new.
All this as Powell's wife and 4-year-old watched from the street nearby.
He said to me, Daddy, why did that man do that? He's worried about me taking the bus home today.
Powell called a police.
Really, don't you see how ridiculous this is? How this has been turned into something that's not there? He's worried about me taking the bus home today because that driver might get up and kick your ass or something. That's such bullshit. All the stuff that's going on in the world right now, and this is their news. That's why I know this is a conspiracy here to try to distract from the union problems, because this is not news. So you broke the phone. I'm scared about Daddy riding the bus home today. I mean, how pathetic can you be to try to make news out of something like this?
About this, and he says they told him to file a formal complaint with Trimet. He's done that.
So this guy tries to call the police on the driver, and the police just, look, they laughed at him. The police didn't take a report. Do you understand? In other words, they didn't believe him. So the police didn't take it seriously. They said, file a report with Trimet, file a complaint. That should tell you right there that it's not news. The police didn't, they said, get lost, buddy. Go to Trimet. This isn't a crime. So, yeah, it's fake news. This is totally fake news on all levels.
Now, Trimet confirms that it's launched an internal investigation, but couldn't comment further on the incident or this driver's status. In a statement, a spokesperson told us in part, quote, reports like these are alarming. The behavior this rider described is unacceptable by all Trimet standards. We absolutely do not condone aggressive behavior or the destruction of property.
So there's the fake Trimet statement. They didn't do any kind of defense for the driver. They immediately condemned the driver with that statement. See, this is how you know it's complete bullshit, because their whole statement is condemning the driver. There's no defense. They offer no video. You know, we don't get to see what actually happened because that's how they do business over there. No ethics at all. So they make their report is, we don't condone this driver, and we'll get back to you someday maybe, but here's the statement. It's fake. They're fake. This is a setup. It's obvious to me this is a setup.
For now, it appears Powell will have to await the outcome of that investigation.
I'd like to get an apology from the guy, mainly. You know, people don't treat people with disrespect, you know.
And Trimet says they reached out to Powell. They say they helped him file that formal complaint. Powell tells us, though, that's not the case. He says no one from Trimet reached out at all.
That's an interesting ending there, because Trimet told the reporter that they helped him file the complaint, and the reporter and the guy said nobody ever contacted him. So they're caught in a lie there. Okay, so there they are lying. Okay, they're lying. So we have proof that Trimet just lied, because they told the reporter that they helped the guy file the report, and the guy told the reporter he never heard a word from them. So what else do you need to see? Trimet caught in its own lie. See, this incident came to their attention, and probably to the media. They hashed it around in their little brains at public relations and, you know, McFarland's cronies. So how can we use this incident to our advantage? What can we do here to make the union look bad? And this is what they came up with, okay? And so they didn't squash the story. They said, go ahead and run with the story. You know, they give their approval on these things. And they came up with their phony statement, you know, basically condemning the driver. They didn't offer us any video evidence of anything. And then they lied to the reporter about they helped the guy. They're liars, okay? Of course, that's going to go, the reporter didn't follow up on that, but he just caught them in a lie. They said they helped the guy. The guy said he never heard from them. I believe the guy, because we know who Trimet is. They're liars, okay?